Are you a senior golfer who's looking to improve their game, reduce those aches and pains, and enjoy more years on the course? If so, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you 5 simple and really effective golf fitness exercises that are going to help you achieve just that. The exercises I'm going to show you are going to help you reduce that risk of injury, which naturally increases with age, increase your overall flexibility and mobility, which we know starts to slow down, and overall improve your longevity of playing and performing to the best of your ability. All these exercises are simple, can be done at home with no equipment, and can help get you started into better golf. So exercise 1, let's just start really simple with a golf club across the chest. Go into a golf posture but with your feet together, because this is going to force you not to be able to essentially move your hips. We're going to then bend over in that golf posture, and all we'll focus on is just trying to feel like we turn the chest. Some of you may feel like that's you turning your shoulders, but chest is more specific because that's the rib cage rotating around the spine. That's the trunk movement that we want to improve flexibility in during the golf swing. So all I'm doing is just really trying to feel like I'm turning that chest as far as I can. Now, naturally, there will be some hip movement that increases the upper body turn, but that closed stance will help try and minimize that so it more targets that upper body. And you can see here, I'm just getting good big turns, holding it for a couple of seconds in each position, with the key of making sure when I rotate, I'm not standing up out of posture to get more range of motion. That's essentially cheating it. Even if that means you only feel like you get to here, at least you're getting quality stretch and rotation. Aim to do 10 each side with that full turn, that full twist, and that 2-second hold. Secondly, we're going to focus on more the hips, getting them mobilized, but also increasing a bit of stability. Again, use a golf club. If it's not stable enough, you can just hold onto a wall or something that just helps. But all you're going to focus on doing is holding that golf club into the ground, balancing on one leg. With the opposite leg, the non-standing leg, we're going to be swinging forwards and backwards. So we're really starting to feel like we mobilize that hip joint in a controlled, smooth fashion, feeling like we get good range of motion, maybe increasing that through the set so you start small and increase. Again, 10 in each direction, really feeling that swing, maximizing as much hip movement as you can, and then the same thing but side to side. Now naturally you're going to have to bring the club a bit more out in front to give you some space. That's going to obviously reduce a little bit of stability. This movement's naturally going to be much harder because of where the hip joint is moving. So don't expect as big a range of motion, and obviously expect a little bit less control and stability. But same principle, 10 each direction, really feeling like that hip joint is really mobilizing and getting moving. Naturally, as you're doing this, because you're standing on one leg, you're going to feel some engagement through that side, so it's increasing that stability in the opposite side. But all we're trying to do is get proper function through the hips, something that then will aid better rotation, but also take stress off the hips and the back. Making sure you do both sides with the same intensity and focus. If you're liking this routine and exercises so far, you can check out my golf fitness app here that's got lots of different routines starting at lots of different levels, giving you different outcomes, different goals for your needs, and it takes you through step by step. Full information is also in the description below. Next, we're going to focus on mobilizing the shoulder joints and the spine in a different movement to just rotation. This movement is going to be much more demanding for most of you because of how we lose flexibility and mobility through the thoracic spine and the upper spine. So using a wider club, a longer club like a driver might be more beneficial. See how you get on. But all you're going to do is hold it at each end. You're going to stand tall, upright, keeping the head and shoulders back. You're then just going to do an overhead reach as far as you can go. Now, the goal is try and limit any elbow bend. So you might get to here, then feel like you go further by bending your elbows. We're probably going to lose a bit of a stretch in the shoulders. Don't worry too much if you have a slight amount, but try and minimize that movement. Now, as I go to the top, we will feel that stretch. We'll feel that pulling. I'm then going to slowly feel like I reach my spine to one side and almost the club towards the ground. Controlled, hold for a couple of seconds, each side, and then arms back down. So we're essentially lifting side to side, controlled back down. Now range of movement will depend on current flexibility. So we might have to go quite short, but we're still going to get that motion going. I would say aim between 8 to 12 reps with this, depending on your endurance of the movement, but that's big overhead reach, big stretch in the side bend, nice and controlled, good range of movement and stretching without feeling like you need to rush. So this might be a longer time frame to do this set, but just work with it because this is really mobilizing some key joints that are not actually that easy to target. Next, we need to focus on some strength and stability in the lower half. So all we're going to do is go down on the floor into what we call a glute bridge position. So lying on the back, feet close to the bum, okay? Again, depending on flexibility in the knees, you might have to go a bit longer, a bit wider, but that will also then target the hamstrings more. So find that middle ground, place the club across your hips, holding onto it gently. And from here, all we're going to do is push the hips to the ceiling with that focus on trying to get the club in line with the core and the abs. So if it's sat down a little bit, you can see how we've got an angle. That means we're not fully locked out, full range of motion. So we're fully locked out. We're going to feel like we squeeze our buttocks, our glutes nice and tight for about 3 seconds, and then we're going to control it down. Although it looks very simple, it's a much harder exercise to do well and much more effective for glute strength in particular. Again, aim for about 12 of these so we really start to fatigue out the system. If this is too easy, you can very simply push up and then bring one knee towards your chest. So you're now just mobilizing and engaging one side, go back down and repeat that process. Okay, and finally, this last exercise almost pieces all those areas together of strength and mobility in the key joints, which will be the most advanced, but obviously start simple and you can make it more challenging. So we're going to simply place the club out in front of our shoulders. Some of you may prefer gripping it like this, so just find what grips better for you. We're going to start with feet roughly hip width apart. We're going to bend over so our chest is facing the floor. We're going to bring one foot back onto the tiptoe. And then whichever leg's at the front, we're going to turn into. So we're going to feel that chest twisting around the hip. So this is obviously having to stabilize the lower half, use strength in the lower half, but also then use mobility and flexibility through the hip and upper body. We're going to go 8 each side, holding for a couple of seconds, feeling like we're really twisting. You can have a longer stride and a shorter width, let's say, to make it more challenging and increase that stability. Again, both sides. One will feel easier than the other, but make sure the chest stays facing the ground. We don't lift up or start too upright because that will reduce the effectiveness of the exercise. So get started with that routine. My advice is 3 times a week, couple of sets of each, build it up. If you like this video and you're interested in how improving your physical capacity can relate to your golf swing and you want to understand your golf swing biomechanics for more speed, more consistency, check out my playlist here for better golf.